Hello friends, this is Monish. I'm back with a review of another self-help book, Grit, written by Angela Duckworth and first published in 2016. I'm sure you would have heard about Angela Duckworth. She's a renowned psychologist and she does have the credentials to write a self-help book. And more to the point, she's written it about grit. So let me tell you the three key takeaways, three key features that stand out from this book that I want to share with you, and which will help you decide if you want to read this book or not. So number one, grit is the most important factor which determines if you will succeed or not. Of course, there are several other things, the circumstances, the genetics, your willpower, the people you're with. However, the number one factor and the most important one is our determination to succeed. Once we have made up our minds, decided, and we persevere, we're not willing to let go, and we see things to their end. We finish what we start, and all that takes is our determination to continue against all odds, to succeed against all odds. And that determination to succeed is grit, and this is the number one factor which will determine if we will succeed at our endeavors or not. It's kind of eye-opening. I mean, this is something so subtle that everyone overlooks or does not pay much attention to this grit. However, reading this book, one will realize how important it is. Number two, grit can be grown. So the second question would be, okay, if grit will determine the level of my success, then how can I grow it? How can I become more gritty? And the author has again done a lot of research and shared the results of those research and again laid out the behaviors, the things that we can do to grow our grit. So, for instance, we should learn to cultivate our interests. So, for instance, one might want to play the guitar. So the author is saying, go ahead and do that, pursue that interest, play around. If it's not the guitar, it's not a musical instrument, maybe it is creative writing. So go ahead and pursue that interest, write articles, blogs. If not that, maybe you are interested in creating softwares. Anything that one feels that is interesting and is attracted to, the first step would be to, cultivate that interest. The second thing would be to not give up at the slightest of obstacles, or you know, make up your mind to give it some time and understand that there will be setbacks. So if I start to play the guitar today, I'm not going to be a maestro, a month later. So keep that in mind, that some of these interests that or anything that we want to be successful at is going to take some time. So it's not going gung-ho. It's not about going gung-ho the first few days or weeks, but pacing yourself. So once you start cultivating your interests and once you start pursuing those interests with a long-term view, the next step would be to get help. So it would make sense to get a coach, a music instructor maybe, a mentor, so that you can learn the nuances and take your skill up a notch. So, and this is crucially where we can grow our grit, is by doing deliberate practice, preferably every day, and deliberate practice in the sense that we are trying to enhance our skills. So we're trying to do something that is a little too difficult for us, but not too much that we are overwhelmed. So we take baby steps, we pursue something difficult, we keep pursuing something difficult, grow our expertise, and these three factors, cultivating our interests, keeping a long-term view, getting expert help, and deliberate practice will make us succeed at almost everything in life. The third feature is catch them early. So the book, it focuses a lot on parenting. Why? Because it helps when children from an early age learn to pursue these difficult interests, things, be it academics, be it sports. What happens is that this grit has a trickle effect or a ripple effect. So if, let's say, I'm gritty at pursuing my practice in playing the guitar, that will overflow and that grit will stay with me, and I will be able to apply it to academics or the job that I'm at. So it really helps, if at a young age we can encourage people to start pursuing their interests and not just pursue them half-heartedly, but somehow encourage people to keep at it so that they become experts. So these are the three main features that it's eye-opening that grit is the number one factor determining our success. Number two, we can grow our grit. And number three, start early. To be honest, this book was quite a revelation, and it really, looking back at my life, I've been able to succeed at something that I was interested in. I pursued it, made a lot of mistakes, but then kept at it, grew my expertise, and I believe I'm quite successful at the things that I pursued. And then there were things that I gave up for the lack of interest or for the lack of, the circumstances were as such. and those things are not in my life anymore. So knowing that this grit is the number one factor which applies to everything in life that we pursue, be it financial health, mental health, physical health, I don't know, pursuing or enjoying great relationships with your partner, with your parents, with your loved ones. It does take grit, your determination to overcome the obstacles and continue so that you can succeed at the end. So guys, that was my spiel for Grit, written by Angela Duckworth. I heartily recommend this book. Please do pick it up, because when you read it yourself, the very words, they get ingrained in your mind, and the ideas in this book are worth keeping in your mind for the long run. So please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy reading.